What's up, everybody? And with this government shutdown going on, are your vacation flight plans being interrupted? Are you seeing delays at the airport? If you got flights booked, are you saying you should get there really early? Everything that's going on with TSA, air traffic control not being there 100% to guide the planes. How are you guys feeling if you got flights booked and now with the shutdown going on, you kind of like, did you have to cancel, reschedule? You know, how's everybody feeling with the shutdown when it comes to, booking a flight? Because people still want to go, got vacation time, trying to travel. But the shutdown, this is another one of the things it's messing up the airports. And so this is an article from CBS News. They said the shortage of air traffic controllers at the airports during the shutdown have travelers, and I'm talking to you all, wondering if they have anything to worry about when they get on their flight. Flight delays. Has your flight been delayed? In some parts of the United States have increased since the government shut down on October 1st. Transportation Security Administration, or TSA, and other air safety personnel are needed to work without pay. So, that sucks. Previous shutdowns have resulted in a spike in TSA officers and air traffic controllers calling out sick from work, and some did that. At least I know air traffic control did this month because they're like no one wants to work for free, and then that adds to the delays in flight cancellations. And so I know it's a headache, and people are really just wondering when is it going to end. I booked this flight months ago, and now the time for me to take off in October with the shutdown going on is really throwing a wrench in your plans. And to anybody who's thinking about taking a flight, are you still thinking about booking that, or you want to wait until the shutdown is over? Do you feel it's not safe to fly because you might not have air traffic control there to kind of guide the airplanes and let the pilot know, how the runway looks to make it safe to land? Are you thinking about just pushing back your flight plans if you was trying to book something? And some people might want to book stuff for, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and I don't know how long this shutdown is going to go, but are you holding off on booking vacation flights for the holidays because the shutdown might, impact things? Because it's definitely a real question to think about if however long this shutdown goes on. Every day they vote, they no side budgets, they don't get the 60 votes needed, and then, on to the next day. No voting on the weekend. They tried again Monday. Same result. They need 60 votes on either side, minimum 60 to end the shutdown. But no Democrats jump ship to the Republicans, and no Republicans jump ship to the Democrats. So, the latest vote on October 16th, it was 51 to 45. Nobody got the 60, neither side, to stop the shutdown. So it goes on. And then as it goes on, flights get hurt, setback, delayed, everything like that. And if you all are in that number with the flights, you know, are you trying to get a refund? Do you feel like this ridiculous? I'm pretty sure many of you do. I don't have any flights, anything scheduled, but I hear a lot about airport delays and things like that, and flights having to be pushed back. And so, is your vacation flight in jeopardy, or are you already somewhere, but it's taking you longer to get back home or wherever you're going before you get back home because of the delays going around because of the shutdown? It's crazy. So I want to continue on in the article. It said, despite such inconveniences, aviation experts are confident that the air travel remains safe. Well, that's good. There is no slacking. FAA safety standards don't go on hiatus just because the government is shut down. That's good to know. Flight delays due to the staffing issues are rising because the agency is taking steps to make sure travel remains as safe as before the shutdown. People should feel comfort that traffic is slowing And ground delays are being put into place as an extra layer of safety as a precautionary measure. It shouldn't raise a red flag in any way. So there you have it in terms of them having to do the delays, but it's also a safety measure. But I know people just, it's easy to get tired of that, even though it's for safety, and you really just want to get up in the air and get to where you need to be. Now, this is another article I found. Should you postpone your flight? And how many of you have done that? Yes, no, maybe so during this time. So traveling is already stressful with flights subject to delays thanks to extreme weather or high traffic. Government shutdown adds to it, obviously, and essential employees having to work without pay, and some just stay home or go find another way to make some money. And so passengers in Burbank, California, and Nashville, Tennessee had flight delays due to staff just not being there. And, people just, would you work for free? Are they in the wrong for wanting to stay home? You know, no money's coming in. When the government shuts down, people's bills don't. So, you know, if that's the case, then it's just something that the people who are choosing to fly have to deal with. And I know it's messing up, your plans for your vacation, things like that. It's a crazy time right now. So let's see what it says. For now, you shouldn't worry about postponing. Okay, it's not the best time to be traveling, but it's far from the worst. Some airports have been seeing delays, but they've been eventually relatively minor. Okay, so everybody's gonna put their spin on it, definitely the airports. But how are you, the people that have actually been waiting in line at the airport? How does that feel to you in terms of what they're saying? And would you book a flight right away now based on what you're going through? If you went through a delay at your airport, and if things just are way behind, because the people who represent the airport, they're going to spend it in a way where, hey, it's not the best time to be traveling, but it's definitely not the worst. But I'm looking for the individual experience of the travelers, the passengers. That's what I'm interested to hear in feedback on this video about. How the people who got flights booked, scheduled, vacation, whatever reason, and you actually been through the airport, seeing how it is, are things messing up your plans? That's what I want to get down to, because they're talking to the people who are at the airports. These people are airport employees, but there's nothing talking to passengers. Then here it goes. While some employees have not been reporting, it's not concentrated in any one place, so the travelers shouldn't be too worried. And this is according to Michael McCormick. I would treat this to be traveling just like it were in the middle of the summer. And so let's go down. That's a period when travel is busy and there are weather events like thunderstorms that can impact air traffic control system, but you can still get to your destination. So yeah, no one's denying that, but as the shutdown lingers on, how much more will flights be affected? How many more airline staff will call off because they're not getting their direct deposits into their bank accounts? You know, these type of things really mess up people's plans and what they was trying to get accomplished. When you got Republicans and Democrats who can't agree to, pass funding bills. So now I want to take you to a video about the whole subject. Fair use, YouTube, fair use. This is from CBS News, and this is more about safety and flying during this crazy shutdown. Let's go.
And with this shutdown affecting critical airport workers, some travelers are left wondering, is it safe to fly right now? TSA officers and air traffic controllers are classified as essential workers, which means they are continuing to work even without pay. During previous shutdowns, most of or more of these workers tend to call out sick, contributing then to staff shortages, which could lead to longer lines at airport security as well as delayed flights. And some Americans, though, are also sharing their concerns about whether these shortages impact safety as well. And here to help break this all down is CBS News Money Watch reporter Megan Cerullo. Megan, always a treat to be able to talk to you about these kinds of issues. You've been talking to a lot of experts about this. What do they have to say about the current state of air travel? I know people are always nervous just to begin with.
Government officials, aviation safety experts, pilots all say that it remains safe to travel. These folks who are deemed essential are continuing to go to work without pay. Today marked the first day they missed a paycheck. So that adds some stress, but just because the government shutdown does not mean that FAA standards are on hiatus, is what one expert said to me.
I mean, we're already starting to see some delays, though, play out at airports across the country. What kind of precautions are in place, perhaps, to reduce some of these risks that might be heightened because of a shutdown?
Safety is a priority, and Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy did say that if they are experiencing staffing shortages, that might mean that they slow down traffic, which is why travelers might experience some delays at airports. Secretary Duffy said that while usually about 5% of delays are attributed to air traffic controller shortages, last week that figure rose to 53%. Additionally, pilots who are not federal workers, they work for airlines. They're in communication with air traffic controllers all the time. They are sort of that last line of defense, and they will not take off if it's not safe to take off. And this is all to reassure the flying public that it's safe, and they can even take those delays as a sign that the FAA is making sure the skies remain safe for them to fly.
Yeah, wise words to heed for sure. Even outside of this, it's not an easy time to be an air traffic controller. And I can only imagine how difficult it is now that they are working without pay. What have you heard about what they're saying and perhaps morale for some of these workers?
It's a stressful job that requires them to be on all the time. They're charged with monitoring 45,000 flights a day, 3 million passengers. The lowest paid among them only make $45,000 a year. And if they are not getting paid immediately and they have a mortgage and they have to cover the cost of groceries and they have to pick up a side gig, maybe they're thinking about going and driving an Uber after.
Only 45,000 for the entry level air traffic controllers. So yeah, when that's not a lot, and when you're not getting paid, yeah, they're definitely gonna have to pick up something, Uber, DoorDash, whatever, to make the ends meet. That is crazy. So there's really no reason for them to be there or anybody. But the fact of the matter is, the ones that's making more probably have more saved, whereas the $45,000 air traffic control people, they're like, we already wasn't making a lot to begin with, and so now we dipping into savings real quick. So man, it's crazy. All right, let's finish it out.
They get off work. That
After such a stressful day already.
That adds to the stress they're already experiencing in their roles as air traffic controllers.
Megan Cerullo, thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thanks.
All right, so there you all have it. That is crazy. Who wants to be an air traffic controller? Or who wants to work for the government when they can't get it together? They always talk about some people two misdirect deposits away from being upside down. Get paid twice a month, every 2 weeks. So you missed them. You missed those two. So many people will be behind in bills and everything else, living paycheck to paycheck. And so when all of this happens, hey, the flights get affected. Again, to my people who are out here flying, are your vacation flights being messed up by the government shutdown? How are you feeling? Are you upset? How long are the delays actually? Did your flight get pushed back? You were supposed to arrive in Hawaii at this time, but you're 3 hours later. How extreme is it to all my people who are booking flights right now, heading to the airports? Are your vacation flights being messed up by the government shutdown? I want to know. In these times, and people just trying to make sense of it all and escape and go somewhere so they can be entertained, and then you trying to get on the plane because you can't drive maybe to where you're going, or just way too far, or you going over the water, so you definitely can't drive, and you're just trying to get away, book your flight for your vacation, and now the shutdown is messing things up. You know, it's a whole mess, but I just wanted to bring that to light and see how my vacation airport people are going with their flights. Are they messed up? I assume so. Let me know down in the comments what your experience has been like at the airport since the shutdown, whether you flying on vacation or not. Maybe it's for your job, maybe you work for yourself and you had to do some, whatever reason you have to be at the airport. How has it went for you since the shutdown started? And are you ready to pull your hair out? Put that down in the comments. Let me know. And send any other topics or videos you want me to discuss to my email. That's cregier.mj@gmail.com. That's CREGIER dot mj@gmail.com. That will be down in the description of the video as well. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. As always, facts or feelings, all one word. Don't put in any spaces. Type facts or feelings in the YouTube search, just all one word, and my channel comes right up. And so I'm out. Safe travels. If you are at that airport, please be patient. Shutdown is crazy. Air traffic controllers, all of the essentials at the government who are not getting paid right now. My heart goes out to you. I know no one can afford to do jobs for free, especially in this economy. But anyways, YouTube, I'm out to the next video. Y'all have a good one.